What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Sean from 4GLU, 4 Geeks Like You, and you are now tuned into my review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 1 titled Pilot. Now, yeah. One of the main things I want to talk about before I get into the other agents and everything is that Coulson is back. Now, Coulson has a huge fan base, so a lot of people are excited that he's back, he's alive. But how they explained him coming back was just pretty like it was like Joss Whedon was like, you know what? Ha! Ha! Deal with it. Because it was like, well, I held my breath for 40 seconds and I really didn't die and I'm back now and here I am. Ta-da! Yeah, I'll get to my theory about what I actually think happened, but let's break down the agents that we're introduced to in this pilot episode. Now, of course, we're introduced to Agent Coulson. We're shown Maria Hill. We're shown Agent May. Grant Ward, who's like this Black Ops agent who's recruited by Coulson in the episode. He's like the pretty boy, I do what I want to do, kind of like Tony Stark, but more subtle about his brashness, you can say. We're also introduced to Agent Leo, Agent Gemma Simmons, I think her name is, and did I say Agent May? Agent May is there. She's like the pilot. She flies the plane. She knows how to kick ass a little bit, but we're mainly introduced, or this episode is mainly focused around Skye, and she's like this hacker, and she's trying to bring out or let the public know that look, superheroes do exist, even though everything is basically out in the public right now about aliens and superheroes and gods and whatnot. She's just basically trying to open it up more to the public, and she's doing this by hacking S.H.I.E.L.D. and whatnot. So yes, everything that happened in Avengers did happen. The public do know about superheroes, but they're not really focusing on what the public actually knows. They're focusing on Skye actually releasing this news to the public. Everything that S.H.I.E.L.D. has, she's throwing out here to the public. So what happens in this episode is that this guy named Mike, who's played by J. August Richards, who is a Whedon favorite, you can say. He was in Angel, and he did a couple of other things with Whedon and a couple of other things in certain movies and whatnot. But anyway, this guy has Extremis attached to his arm. So he has powers. You know, at first he starts off like this guy who's just looking out for his son. He also wants to help people. He's saving people. But then later on down the line, he actually becomes kind of obsessed about this power now. He starts becoming more darker, and like he's now like, you know what, I want to like be out here more. I want to be a hero, but in the way that I think I should be a hero. Like, you know, this guy is he can't pay rent. He has a kid that he's taking care of. He actually goes back to his old job to meet his boss, and he's like, look, I can do everything now. Boss isn't trying to hear it. He throws the boss over. Then I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's going to be like, all right, I'm sorry. This guy picks up a canister and smashes his boss's face, man. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, okay, like, there's definitely no going back for this guy right now. So, after that, S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, listen, man, we definitely need to get this guy. On top of that, he has Extremis attached to him. We know what happens with Extremis if you've seen Iron Man 3, and that's that eventually you will explode. And they see that one guy who actually had Extremis actually did explode. So now they're trying to prevent Mike, who is played by, again, by J. August Richards, that, try to prevent him from exploding and wiping out all these people. So he kidnaps Skye, all right, who's like the hacker and stuff, and she's kind of obsessed with superheroes, and his son, and they go to this area, and things happen here. At the end of the day, yeah, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they did stop him, but we're also introduced to a couple of villains, side villains, which are also users of Extremis. Now, it's not really like shown that they have Extremis, but one girl has like marks on her face, the other guy has like super strength and shit. Like, you can pretty much tell that these guys are either working with somebody who controls Extremis, or they do have Extremis attached to them. Now, like I said, the episode does end with the whole situation getting resolved and whatnot. Without spoiling anything too much, things got resolved in a cool manner. Now, my likes about this episode is, of course, Coulson. I do like the character Skye. I found that she was the most interesting character amongst everybody here. There were characters like Fitz and Simmons, who like joked around and they bounce things off each other. We have the main kind of agent there, that's Grant. He's sort of like the Stone Cold kind of guy, but he hides his true emotions. It's pretty generic, but the main character, again, the main standout character besides Coulson was Skye. And I just like her as a character. Like, she's a hacker, she's trying to expose stuff, but she's also not with all the shield kind of thing. She's not a true agent. She has her own she's basically a rebel, and she's in shield now. So I would like to see like her interactions with Coulson more or less. But yeah, she was definitely one of the things that kept me watching this episode. Now, there are things that I would like to talk about, mainly Maria Hill and Coulson. Looks like she has some kind of thing for Coulson. Looks like they have some kind of thing, like hidden underlying relationship thing. But the main thing I want to talk about is when she was actually confronted by Ron Glass, who is in this episode. I think he's Dr. somebody or some kind of doctor. But regardless of what, he confronts Agent Marie Hill, and he's like, listen, so Coulson doesn't know? And she's like, well, he never needs to know. Never. So what I'm thinking is that Coulson isn't actually Coulson. He's actually like a body double. And this might lead into him actually becoming Vision, because there's one scene where Mike actually breaks out of the van and he pushes the door open. Everybody else jumps to the side. Coulson just goes like this. It goes over his head and he looks back down like, oh shit, yeah, that's cool. No, it's not cool, man. Like, that's not Coulson. That is Coulson with an upgrade, okay? Definitely not the regular Coulson that we've seen in Avengers. This Coulson has some shit going on inside of him. And if people didn't catch on to that scene, then you're not paying really good attention to what's happening, because he dodged that with no effort whatsoever. So that scene alone definitely made me think, yeah, that's not Coulson. That's not the Coulson that died in Avengers. So overall, I would give this episode a 3 out of 5. Like, another thing that I disliked is that basically all these characters were just thrown in for eye candy to me. Like, they weren't like realistic. It was like a whole bunch of models just got together and said, yeah, let's kick ass for S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah! That's what it felt like. It was like pretty generic. But again, I'm here and I'm liking Skye. Besides that, I guess the rest of the characters would have to grow on me, but for right now, I don't give two shits about them. So, what did you guys think? Did you like this episode? What do you think about Coulson? Do you think it really is Coulson, or do you think this is Coulson with an upgrade? Let me know below, guys. And again, this is Sean from 4GLU, for Geeks Like You. Stay tuned for more reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Have a good one.